Jai Hind students, welcome in your history class. Today we are going to start a new chapter and that is reforms in Indian society. Children, you know that in 18th century there were many ills in the society like caste discrimination, gender division, widows they could not remarry. Just to eliminate these evils from the society, many reforms associations were formed. Just to eliminate these evils from the society. So we are going to discuss about this reformers, about the associations which are formed by them. Okay, now look at the chart on the screen, children. Reforms in the Indian society. Indian society during the 18th century was divided along gender and caste lines. Women, they were not allowed to study and were married off when they were still very young. These women were married at a very tender age and widows could not remarry. Women did not have the right to inherit property. So their social position in the society was very, very low. And they were totally dependent on the men folk in their family. Means males were dominating the family, they were dominating the society, children. And the caste restrictions was also very, very strict. The upper caste people, they stayed away from people of the lower caste. So to fight these evils, enlightened Indians formed reform associations in different parts of the country. Especially we are talking about Bengal, Maharashtra and South India, children. So Association for Reform. A reformist trend started in India during the first half of the 19th century. The reformers they realized that there were many social evils and superstitious beliefs had kept the society backward and prevented Indians from progress. So some enlightened Indians they formed association to work for reforms. So as we know that there were many ills in the society, so reform association were formed to remove these evils from the society so that our society could progress, children. So Brahma Samaj was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy in 1828. So in 1828, Raja Ram Mohan Roy founded the Brahma Sabha, later called Brahma Samaj, in Calcutta to work for social and religious reforms. Devinath Tagore and Keshav Chandra Sen were actively involved in its activities. So Brahma Samaj was established by who? By Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Okay, in 1828. And the real name of Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa was Gadadhar Chattopadhyay, as it is mentioned in the book itself, and that of Swami Vivekananda was Narendra Nath. So we are studying that in the 18th century there were many evils. बहुत सारी बुराइयां थी समाज के अंदर. इन बुराइयों को दूर करने के लिए बहुत सारे रिफॉर्म्स एसोसिएशंस वे एस्टैब्लिश, जिससे कि सोसाइटी जो है इतनी इल्स, इतनी इवल्स थी, इतनी सुपरस्टिशियस बिलीफ थी लोगों की, जिसके वजह से सोसाइटी कभी प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर सकती थी. सो अ रिफॉर्मिस्ट trend started in India during the first half of the 19th century. The reformers realized that many social evils and superstitious beliefs had kept the society backward. And these superstitious beliefs, they prevented Indians from progress and development. So some enlightened Indians, they formed associations to work for reforms. So one of the reformer was Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So Brahma Samaj was established in 1828 by Raja Ram Mohan Roy in Calcutta. Then Devinath Tagore and Keshav Chandra Sen, they were involved in the activities of Brahma Samaj. Then the other Samaj which was established in Madras was Veda Samaj. Veda Samaj was founded in Madras in 1864. It was based on the ideals of the Brahma Samaj and its most important leader was Chepati Sridharu Naidu. The association attacked superstitions and the caste system. And this Samaj, it also promoted women's education and encouraged the remarriage of widows' children. So one was Brahma Samaj, which was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Other was Veda Samaj. It was established in Madras in 1864 by Naidu. And the third one is Pratna Samaj. Pratna Samaj was established by Mahadev Govind Ranade and Ramkrishna Bhandarkar. Founded the Pratna Samaj in Bombay in 1867. The association worked for the abolition of the caste system and untouchability. This Samaj was trying to improve the social status of women. It was supporting widow remarriage. It was trying to foster the unity between Hindus and Muslims and the spread of modern education children. The next was Satya Shodhak Samaj. Satya Shodhak Samaj was established in 1873 by Jyotirao Govindrao Phule, affectionately called Mahatma Phule or Jyotiba Phule children. So Jyotiba Phule, he founded the Satya Shodhak Samaj in 1873. And the membership of Satya Shodhak Samaj was open to all, was open to the people of all religions. The association propagated caste equality and worked for the upliftment of the oppressed classes. Oppressed means Dalit and all. उनके upliftment के लिए ये सत्य शोधक समाज है, which was established in 1873 by Mahatma Phule. It was working for that. कि जितने भी downtrodden लोग हैं, जितने भी lower caste के लोग हैं, उनको oppressed caste के लोग हैं, उनको किस तरह से हम ऊपर उठाएं. The next was Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj was founded by Swami Dayanand Saraswati in 1875. Among other things, the association worked for the remarriage of widows. Then comes Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission was established by Swami Vivekananda. He founded the Ramakrishna Mission in 1897 to work for social religious reforms. His guru was Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Okay children, again I am just telling you children that in the 18th century society में बहुत सारी बुराइयां थी. Caste discrimination, society was divided on the caste lines, and widows they could not remarry. Women did not have the right to inherit property. Their social position was also very low, and they were dependent on the men folk in the family. And the caste restrictions were also very low. Just to remove these evils which are present in the society, many enlightened Indians, they formed reform association in different parts of the country, which we are studying today. So, the reformers, they realized that many social evils and superstitious beliefs had kept the society backward and prevented Indians from progress. So, some enlightened Indians, they formed associations to work for reforms. One was Brahma Samaj. Brahma Samaj was established in 1828 by whom? By Raja Ram Mohan Roy in Calcutta. Then next was Veda Samaj. Veda Samaj was founded in Madras in 1864 and the important leader was C.S. Naidu. This association attacked superstitions and the caste system, and this Veda Samaj also promoted women's education and encouraged the remarriage of widows. Then comes the Pratna Samaj. Pratna Samaj was founded by Mahadev Govind Ranade and Ramkrishna Bhandarkar in Bombay in 1867. And this association worked for the abolition of the caste system and untouchability. And this Samaj was trying to improve the social status of women and widow remarriage and Hindu-Muslim unity and the spread of modern education. Then comes Satya Shodhak Samaj. Satya Shodhak Samaj was established in 1873 by Mahatma Phule or Jyotirao Phule. And the membership of the Satya Shodhak Samaj was open to the people of all religions. And this association children, it propagated caste equality. Caste equality पे जोर दे रहा था and they were working for the upliftment of the oppressed classes. Then comes Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj was founded by Swami Dayanand Saraswati in 1875. And this Samaj worked for the remarriage of widows. Then comes Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission was founded by by Vivekananda. So Swami Vivekananda founded the Ramakrishna Mission in 1897 and to work for socio-religious reforms. His guru was Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So you have seen that the society, women were having no say in the family, in the society. So most of the reformers, they were working for the upliftment of women children. So women had reforms. Improving the position of women was the main agenda before the reformers. They believed that no reform could be effective until the position of women was improved. So many social evils hindered the process of upliftment of women. These social evils were, मतलब बहुत सारे समाज में ऐसी बुराइयां थी जो औरतों के प्रोग्रेस में रुकावट बन रही थी. तो वो कौन कौन सी सामाजिक बुराइयां थी जो औरतों के प्रोग्रेस में रुकावट बन रही थी? फर्स्ट वॉज द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ विडो, वो दैट इज सती सिस्टम चिल्ड्रन, कि अगर हस्बैंड की डेथ हो जाए तो वाइफ को भी उसी फ्यूनरल पायर में जला दिया जाता था. Then the second was the pitiable condition of widows. विधवाओं की स्थिति बहुत ज्यादा खराब थी. Then third, lack of education among girls. Girls were deprived of getting education children. Then child marriages. Then female infanticide. बेटी पैदा हुई तो उसको मार दो. Female infanticide, that is the practice of killing a girl soon after birth. Then polygamy, that is practice of having more than one wife. मतलब एक से ज्यादा जो मेल है वो एक से ज्यादा वाइफ रख सकता है, शादी कर सकता है. Then पर्दा सिस्टम. So these were the social evils children, and these evils hindered the process of the upliftment of women, like sati system, then pitiable condition of widows, then lack of education among girls, then child marriage, female infanticide, polygamy, and पर्दा system. So all the social reformers, they were trying to remove these evils from the society, जिससे औरतों को भी uplift किया जा सके. So banning of sati, the custom of sati, it was the most barbaric social evil of the time. In this, a widow was burnt alive on the funeral pyre of her husband. जब husband की death हो जाती है तो husband की चिता जब जलती है तो उसी पे विधवा औरत को भी जला दिया जाता है. In the system of sati children. So the custom of sati was the most barbaric social evil of the time. And thus, a widow was burnt alive on the funeral pyre of her husband. And the most vocal opponent of this practice was Raja Ram Mohan Roy. सबसे ज़्यादा सती सिस्टम को बैन करने में अगर किसी ने important रोल प्ले किया है, that is Raja Ram Mohan Roy children. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he launched a campaign against sati system. And because of his efforts, sati was declared illegal in 1829 children. So who was the Governor General of India at this time? Raja Ram Mohan Roy, with the help of the Governor General, and his name was Lord William Bentinck. So Ram Mohan Roy and William Bentinck की मदद से उन्होंने सती सिस्टम को illegal declare कर दिया. In which year? In 1829 children. Then comes widow remarriage. In the 19th century, the condition of widows was pitiable. बहुत खराब थी. जो विधवाएं हो जाती थी, पूरा बाल काट दो, जमीन पे सोना है, and they were not allowed to remarry, nor could they attend family and community functions because their presence at such happy occasion was considered inauspicious. Widows को किसी भी शुभ काम में उनको शामिल नहीं होने दिया जाता था, क्योंकि ये मानते थे कि अगर वो सामने आ जाएंगी तो कोई शुभ काम जो है अशुभ हो जाएगा. So it was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he launched a crusade for the betterment of the widows. He also wanted that widows should be allowed to remarry if they so wished. अगर कम उम्र की लड़की विधवा हो जाती है और शादी करना चाहती है तो ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर ने कहा था उसकी दोबारा शादी कर देनी चाहिए. His efforts led to the passing of the Hindu Widows Remarriage Act in 1856, so which permitted widow remarriage. People who were against the remarriage of widows opposed and boycotted Vidyasagar. So, sati system was banned by the reformer Raja Ram Mohan Roy with the help of Lord William Bentinck children. And Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he legalized the Widow Remarriage Act in 1856. Then comes Pandita Ramabai Ranade. He was another social reformer. She dedicated her life to the cause of women's rights. उन्होंने पूरी जिंदगी औरतों के राइट्स के लिए डेडिकेट कर दी. She set up a home for widows in Pune and women were given vocational training here. औरतों को vocational training दी जाती थी जिससे वो अपने पाँव पे खुद खड़े हो सकें. Then comes education for girls. Today most girls go to school and receive education. But the situation was very different in the 19th century. Girls, they were discouraged from attending school, and some people they believe that girls who were educated would not find a husband. These are the logic. और लड़कियों को पढ़ा दोगे तो उनको husband नहीं मिलेगा. Others were of the belief that the husband of an educated woman will die young. कुछ का ये सोचना था कि अगर लड़की पढ़ी लिखी होगी तो उसका husband की death जल्दी हो जाएगी. मतलब these were the superstitious beliefs कि girls को they should be deprived of getting education. So the reformers of the period wanted women to be educated. They believed that education would give them a better life. The biggest advocates of women's education were Mahatma Phule, that is Jyotirao Phule, Savitribai Phule and Ishwarchand Vidyasagar. So they were supporters of women's education children. So in 1848, Jyotirao Phule opened a school for girls belonging to the lower caste. Vidyasagar also started many schools for girls, and he was closely associated with Lord Drinkwater Bethune, who started the first school for girls in Calcutta in 1849. In the south, Kandupuri Viri Salingam, he also worked for the education of girls. So due to his efforts for the upliftment of women, he was also known as the Vidyasagar of South India. So the question becomes, who was known as the Vidyasagar of South India? And the answer is Kandupuri Viri Salingam, because he worked for the education of girls children. So most of the social reformers, they wanted that girls should not be deprived of getting education. उनको भी शिक्षा मिलना चाहिए जिससे they could lead a better life children. Then law against child marriage. So during that time, children were married off at a very early age. The reformers protested against this, and after a lot of struggle, the Child Marriage Restraint Act, which is also known as SADA Act, was passed in 1929. This act, SADA Act children, fixed the minimum age for marriage of girls at 18 and for boys at 21 कि उसके पहले उनकी शादी न की जाए. So challenging the caste system. Another problem that plagued Indian society was that the society was suffering from this caste system children. The Hindus were divided into caste and subcaste, and at the bottom of the social ladder were the untouchables. So you must have heard about the caste system: Brahman, then Kshatriya, then Vaishya, and then Shudras children. So the Hindus were divided into caste and subcaste, and at the bottom of the social ladder were the untouchables. They were not allowed to draw water from wells used by the people of high caste. तो जिस कुएं से हाई कास्ट के लोग पानी निकालते थे, वहां पे लोअर कास्ट के लोगों को पानी नहीं निकालने दिया जाता था. Nor were they allowed to enter temples or study the shastras. उनको पढ़ाई से भी डिप्राइव रखा जाता था और उनको मंदिरों में भी उनका प्रवेश जो है वो वर्जित था. They were not allowed to enter temples. So the untouchables were thought to have a politic effect on people, and therefore a high caste person would not eat or drink anything touched by an untouchable. So the whole society was divided into different caste systems, and at the bottom of the social ladder were the untouchables, and they were deprived of education, they were deprived of entering, they were not allowed to enter temples, they were not allowed to draw water from wells which was used by the people of the high caste, and a high caste person would not eat or drink anything which was touched by an untouchables. So these were the social ills which are present in the society. You have seen about girls that they were deprived of education, and many social evils were related to their sati system, polygamy, child marriage, etc. So reformers, they were trying to eliminate these social evils from the society for the development of for the progress of the society, for the development of the society children. And we have seen about caste system also, that the society was divided into different castes, एंड लोअर कास्ट के लोगों को अनटचेबल्स मान के उनको समाज से बाहर रखा जाता था. So Eastern India children, we are going to study about Eastern India. So the reformers of the period criticized caste inequalities. Then Raja Ram Mohan Roy realized that the reform of Indian society had to be preceded by a reform of Hinduism itself. He believed that Hinduism should be free from the control of the Brahmins, who opposed progress and were responsible for the oppression of the lower caste. बहुत सारे रिफॉर्मर्स ने, जैसे राजा राम मोहन रॉय, उन्होंने कहा था कि हिंदू धर्म में खुद ही सुधार की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है, और जब तक हिंदू धर्म को पूरे तरह से ब्राह्मण्स जो कि अपोज करते हैं प्रोग्रेस को, डेवलपमेंट को, उनसे उनको हटाया जाए, मुक्त किया जाए, तभी जाकर के जो अनटचेबल्स हैं, जो उनको सप्रेस किया जा रहा है, वो दूर किया जा सकेगा. He realized that to break free from the shackles of the caste system and the meaningless rituals of religion, people should be introduced to the original text of Hinduism. So he took up the task of translating the Hindu scriptures into Bengali. उनका कहना था राजा राम मोहन राय कि धर्म के अंदर बहुत सारी अननेसेसरी मीनिंगलेस रिचुअल्स है रिलीजन के नाम पर, उनको हटाया जाना चाहिए और लोगों को ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट हिंदुइज्म को वो पढ़ने के लिए दिया जाना चाहिए. उन्होंने खुद भी बहुत सारे ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट ऑफ हिंदुइज्म को ट्रांसलेट किया था, हिंदू स्क्रिप्चर्स को ट्रांसलेट किया था इनटू बंगाली. So Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar and Swami Vivekanand also worked for caste reforms. Swami Vivekanand believed that caste, a social system and not a religious institution, that caste was a social system and not a religious institution, children. The religious text did not talk of caste. What made a person supreme was not caste, but his or her inherent qualities. कास्ट के नाम पर आप भेदभाव न करें. अगर कोई इंसान सुपीरियर या इंफीरियर कास्ट के नाम पे नहीं होना चाहिए, बल्कि उसकी इनबिल्ट क्वालिटीज के आधार पर होना चाहिए. Vivekanand also criticized the practice of untouchability. He said that the Hindu religious text did not advocate untouchability. Then in Western India, children, Gopal Hari Deshmukh, Jyotiba Phule, Ramakrishna Bhandarkar, M.G. Ranade and Ramabai Ranade, they were the important prominent reformers of Western India. And they all wrote and spoke against the caste system. Jyotiba Phule, he propagated caste inequality and worked to uplift the status of the untouchables. He was against the dominance of the Brahmins priest. He opened many schools for people considered low in the caste hierarchy, children. In southern India, a popular leader committed to caste reforms was Kandapuri V.D. Salingam. He started a Telugu journal to spread the message of social reform and caste equality. Then C.S. Naidu also protested against the caste system. Sri Narayana Guru was another reformer from the south. He had experienced the oppressive caste system and devoted his life to the upliftment of the untouchables. So going against the caste rules, he acquired Sanskrit education. He built many temples in which there were no images of deities. Deities means God. In the first temple that he built, a stone was placed instead of an idol. And on the stone was engraved this message: here is the place where all people live in fraternity. Fraternity means brotherhood, without caste distinctions and religious rivalry. So he founded an association in 1902 called Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalan Yogam. And this association popularized his belief of one caste, one religion and one God. So reformers such as E.V. Ramaswamy Naicker, K. Kelappan and J.K. Madhavan, they also fought for the right of the untouchables to enter temples. And Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was also actively involved in the temple entry movement. So E.V. Ramaswamy Naicker, popularly called Periyar, started the self-respect movement to fight against the domination of the Brahmin children. So we have seen that there were many evils present in the society in the 18th century, like caste discrimination, then operation of the untouchables, then girls were deprived of women education, sati system. So many evils were present in the society, polygamy, female infanticide, and downtrodden people means untouchables, they were not allowed to get education, to receive education, and they were not allowed to enter temples, children. So many reformers, they started that untouchables should be allowed to enter temples. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was also involved in the temple entry movement, children. So all these social reformers, they were fighting against the domination of the Brahmins. They were fighting to remove all these evils which are present in the society, children. Okay. So in the next period, we are going to continue the same chapter. Till then, thank you and have a nice day, children.